Call center crazy when customer and service collide. A 57-year-old professional, a homeless woman, a top call center saleswoman, and a powerful entrepreneur walk into a bar. By Lori Kirstein. Part 1, Chapter 1. When the Bottom Fell Out, or My First Call Center Gig. I never meant to go into phone sales. In fact, I didn't go. I fell. Phone sales. Customer service. The fifth ring of hell. Honestly, the reason for my trippingly falling myself into phone sales was something far worse. I had gone homeless at the far from tender age of 56. I had been living in the uber-expensive Bay Area of California when my partner passed away, and I went utterly broke. But helpless? No. Fortunately, I have the special gifts of being insanely resilient and consistently insane. See that photo up there? That's the professional actor side of me in an ad back in the 1990s. Yep, I self-identify as an actor. And a nut. Not afraid to make an ass of myself. I also know how to look for assistance and how to ask for help. I know how to maintain my pride by making sure that I take responsibility for rebuilding anything that falls down and goes boom. Like, for instance, my life out in Cali. When the truth was borne in on me that I could no longer pay my rent, I had to do something to avoid living in my car in the inhospitable streets of the East Bay. I knew I needed help, and I knew I was too old to find a mommy or daddy, so only one thing was left. I would have to jettison my pride and ask for help to get home. If I was going to be homeless, I was going to do it in Cincinnati, where life is affordable, I know a person or two, and people are warmer and closer. So I got onto Facebook and told everyone and their brother what was happening. To prove that I wasn't just mooching, I explained the exact situation I was in. I couldn't sell my car because I was upside down on my car loan, and I couldn't drive the car home because I would have had to be hospitalized. I was already walking like a 900-year-old because no doctor would operate on one of my hips that had gone bone on bone. I was in 24/7 pain even when lying down. So driving home would have been impossible anyway. This meant I would have to ship the car home. You need a car more than not in Cincinnati anyway, so if I could figure out how to make it happen, that was going to be the best of a bad situation. And I had to ship all of my belongings home, and I had to get my cat home with me too. Plus, I had to pack and leave within 2 weeks because I couldn't afford the next month's rent. I was at the bottom. I would simply have to do my best. In just 2 weeks, I did the impossible. I packed, I organized, I sold, I gave away, and I did pretty much all of it by myself. I didn't have the time to wallow in my feelings, deep and overwhelming as they were. I was blown out, traumatized, ashamed, broke, and physically and emotionally broken. The first person who responded to my pitiful cry for help was a Facebook friend who sent me $20. I was absolutely stunned that someone would send me money, $20, to support my staying alive. The humility was deep, and I cried and cried. In the weeks that followed, people increasingly came out of the woodwork to help. $5, $20, a $50 gift certificate to the pet store to buy a carrier, $100 from someone who didn't want to speak to me but did want to support me, $300 from an old friend who simply wrote, "A girl's gotta eat," on the card that came with it, and a $550 plane ticket from a high school friend I hadn't been in contact with for 40 years. Another friend in Ohio, one that I also hadn't seen since high school, offered me a room rent-free in his 3-story house on the west side of town. And I jumped at it. He was incredibly kind to take me in. I owe him pretty much for the rest of my life. In just that one day, All that had been a traumatic experience of not just the past year but the last 12 years was now emphatically cut away. I was washed up on the beach, but far less alone. In one day, I was living in a house with 2 other people. What a difference a flight home makes. As soon as I got a new hip, I started getting back up on my feet. Literally, I started looking for work. I'm actually a card-carrying actor, in the union and everything, though that does me no good financially. I'm not Cate Blanchett, more's the pity, so it makes perfect sense that when the ad for a job at the biggest professional theater in the area catches my attention, I take a serious look. Oh, crap, it's in sales. Oh, God, sales. Subscription sales over the phone. Gulp. I have avoided sales my entire life. But beggars can't be choosers, as they say, and the woman who is running the thing tells me she will hire me without even an interview. And I'm like, okay, I'm there. Because, hey, I'm starting over, and I'm homeless, and I'm staying with a friend. All of this begins a new chapter in my life. It is one I did not see coming, and it is helpful in ways I could not have foreseen. You know, I know my strengths include communication, so how bad could sales be? Yeah, right. I was about to find out. Up close and real personal.